Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again. Today in this video, I'm just going to show you all a few tips that hopefully y'all will find useful when dealing with Excel. I'm going to go ahead and start, and what I have here is just a simple list of email addresses. And the feature that I want to show you is the flash fill feature, which is in Excel. So what I want to do is I want to take this list of emails and separate the name from the email extension. So what I want to do is basically just create a list of these teacher names without the @smcisd.net. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor in the next cell and start typing the teacher name, just Mario space Speedwagon, like you would normally do a first name and last name. So as I hit enter, I'll go ahead and start with the next name of Anesthesia. But notice, as I begin typing, Excel will go ahead and flash fill the rest of the column with what it thinks I'm doing, which is just separating the name from the email. So if I hit enter, Excel will then create the rest of the list for me. So now let's take it a step further. Let's say that we want to go ahead and separate the name into two cells. So right now I have both the first name and the last name in one cell, and I want to go ahead and split them up with first name in one cell and last name in another cell. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the column heading. I will come over here to the Data tab, and I will click on Text to Two Columns. From here, it's asking me what best describes my data. Is it delimited or is it fixed width? Well, mine is delimited, meaning it's delimited, it's separated by a space right here. So I click on Next. It will then ask me what is my delimiter, and I'm going to select space. I'll click on Next, click on Finish. And as you can see, it then separates my first name and last name into their two columns. Okay, so now let's say that you get the opposite. Let's say that you originally get a list of the first name in their own column and the last name in their own column. And what you want to do now is you want to combine it, except what you want to do is you want to have last name, comma, first name all in one column. To do that, what you're going to do is you're going to use a function called Concatenate. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the next cell that we want to have that we want to populate, and we're going to click equals on our keyboard, and we're going to type in Concatenate. And as you start typing, you can see it populate, and I'll just select it. Now, what I want to do is it's asking me what cells do I want to combine. So I want it to be I want it to be last name, comma, first name. So I'll click on the last name. I'll do comma. And what I want to do is I want to put a comma in between the last name and first name. So I'll actually open up quotes. I'll put a comma and a space. I'll close my quotes. Click comma again, and then select the value that I want for the first name. And then I'll close my bracket. Okay, so basically, it's just a formula that says whatever's in this cell will equal this value, comma, this value. And so whenever I hit enter, I now get Speedwagon, comma, Mario. Now, from here, I can use the autofill option. So I can now click on that value. As you can see right here, it has the formula, Concatenate C1, quotes, comma, B1. I will go into the bottom right-hand corner and click on it, and then drag out through the rest of my list and let go. And it will then copy that formula for each of these cells. So now I have my list of last name, comma, first name. Okay, so before we move on, I just want to talk about autofill real quick. So autofill recognizes patterns. So if I click on a cell, I just input a value, and I come over here to the bottom right hand corner, you'll notice how my cursor will change from the regular cursor to the little crosshair. Once I get on the crosshair, I can click and drag out, and it will copy that value throughout the cells that I drag out. Now, if you have a pattern going on, like say I have 1 and then 2, and I want to keep going from there on, I can then select both the 1 and the 2, and then come down, click, drag out, and it will then populate the rest with a count of all the cells that I drag to. And it can do this with numbers and different values as well. So let's say that I'm doing months, so I'll type in January, February, and then same thing. I can select these two, come down to the bottom right hand corner, click, drag out, and it will populate for me. And this is both vertical and horizontal. So if I were to come over here, same thing. Select both cells, bottom right hand corner, click and drag out, and you'll populate. The last thing I want to cover is mail merging a spreadsheet with a Word document. So right here I have my spreadsheet, and I want to merge this with this front office pass. So basically I want to populate all this information with the data that I get from the spreadsheet. So what I need to know is I need to know what the data is that I need to populate. So date and period will be the same, so it'll be a constant, so I can go ahead and just add that myself, because it's not going to change, because these are all going to be second period kids. Okay, but the actual student, the teacher, the room number, and who they report to will all be different according to the student. So let's go ahead and go back to the spreadsheet. So I have the teacher, I have the room number, I have the student's first name and last name. As you can see right now, my spreadsheet is alphabetized by the teacher. Now, the information that I'm still lacking is the principal that they need to go to. So I'm going to go ahead and create a column heading called principal. And at our school, the principals are done by alphabetically. So according to what the student's last name is, that dictates to what principal they report to. So in this case, I'm just going to say that all the students from A through M will report to Mr. Garza, and all the students from N through Z will report to Ms. Law. So what I'm going to have to do first is go ahead and get this list in alphabetical order by student last name. So I'll highlight all the cells with information, and I can go to sort on home, sort, custom, and I'm going to sort by last name. Okay, so now all my students are in alphabetical order, and so now I can just say that Mr. Garza will be associated from all these students from A through M. So I'll go ahead and type in, or actually I'll go ahead and copy it. I can copy this information, and I'll paste it right here. And then I'll copy it all the way through the M's, because they're all going to go see Mr. Garza. I'll go ahead and reformat this. Okay, the next ones will all go to Ms. Law. So I'll come over here and grab Ms. Law's information. Copy it. I'll paste it into the spreadsheet and copy it to the remaining students. Just going to reformat those cells. Okay, so I have all the information that I need. Just going to make it look nice and neat. Okay, so I have the teachers, the room numbers, the student name, and where they're going to report to. So let's go ahead and go back to the document and populate this document with the information from the spreadsheet. So I'll go ahead and click in the first instance where I need to grab the data, and I'll come over here to the Mailings tab, and I'll click on Start Mail Merge. For this instance, I'm going to use the Mail Merge Wizard, so I'll select that, and here we go. So select document type. This is a letter, so I'll click on Next. Do I want to use the current document? Yes, I do, so I'll click on Next. Select the recipients. So this is where I'll select the spreadsheet that I'm working on. So let's go back to the spreadsheet, and let's make sure that I have it saved. And it's called Teacher Emails Rooms. So I will come back to my document. I will browse, and I will browse for Teachers Emails Rooms. This is the name of it, so I'll click on OK. And my data looks correct, so I will click on OK again. Okay, so now I've associated that spreadsheet with this document, and I can go ahead and populate it. So I'll click on Write Your Letter. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and highlight the fields that I want to populate. So in the first one, I'm going to highlight student name. I will come over here to my right-hand margin where it says More Items. And I will click on First Name. That's my student's first name. I'll hit Insert and Close. And you can see it gives me first name in brackets. I'll click Space. I'll go to More Items. This time I'm going to insert the last name of the student. Click on Insert and Close. And I'll go ahead and do this for the rest of the document. So for teacher, I will highlight the teacher space. Click on More Items. Click on Teacher Name. Insert, Close. Room number. More Items. Room. Insert. And then we will highlight all of these because we just want to populate it with the person they're going to report to. And I'll click on More Items, Principal, Insert, Close. So now we're done. We've put the tags for the information that we want to populate it with. So if we click on Preview Your Letters, as we go back and forth through all the recipients, we can see how the student's name will change, the teacher will change, the room number, and where they report to. So as we go through all of them and we hit from M through N, we should see the principal change from Mr. Garza to Ms. Law. And let's see. And there we go. Okay, so I hope you found this little video helpful. And as always, please hit subscribe so that you tune in to all the videos that the EdTech puts out here at the district. So I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.